Keegan.
I'm Derek Bellegarde.
I'm Liliana Diaz.
And we discussed Chapter 7, Global Population Dynamics. In the beginning of the chapter, Sachs wants to state a couple of the arguments that he wants to address, which is that world's population is growing at a far too rapid rate. Our resources are obviously scarce due to the growth in population, and that poor countries slowing economic development and global stability due to their rising populations. Out of the three groups of economists, Sachs considers himself an advocate of demographic transitions who remain extremely optimistic, and they acknowledge good ideas in man-made capital, that they can substitute ecological resources in a fixed supply of goods. He says that the outcomes of these demographic transitions depend on technological advancements and against population growth, basically, and that the ability of man-made capital has to substitute natural processes. In richer countries, Sachs states that countries who go through demographic transitions are usually determined by individual choices rather than government policies. And in poorer countries, government policies have been shown to increase the acceleration of these demographic transitions, such as safe drinking water and immunizations. And government programs have played a huge role in affordable contraceptives and safety and support in poorer countries.
Okay. So now they're the population optimists. They maintain that there are no real bounds to the Earth's population because technology can and will keep ahead of the curve. From their point of view, an important part of the economic advance comes from the scientific and technological discoveries of geniuses in society. Now, if we tie this into further on in the chapter, there's also a compelling case for fertility decline. Now, the first and most important thing is that poor families cannot surmount extreme poverty without a decline in fertility rate, so they have to stop relying on big, numerous families in order to support their existence, because there are no resources available to support the large families that are out there. Second, now, what is true for the family is true for society as a whole. A poor country overall cannot afford to equip its communities with school, clinics, new roads, and other public facilities to accommodate a population that doubles each generation. Third, the ecological and closely related income consequences of such rapid population growth are devastating. The poorest countries are rural and usually in fragile ecologies, especially dry lands. Now, fourth and final, there are the threats to the rest of the world, which lead to rapid population growth, which raises the pressure for mass migration and local conflict. And we have the problems of refugees because of the local conflicts and so on and so forth.
The final group was population pessimists. These are the people who believe that human beings have been depleting their natural resources over the course of history, and eventually we're going to completely run out. They believe that population growth will accelerate this process and make it happen quicker. They also believe that there is no way to possibly fix this with technology. It will simply deny the inevitable. One of the metaphors he uses is a man jumps off a 200-story building, and 10 stories before hitting the ground, he says all is good as well before he splatters and everything crashes. They believe that eventually that's what will happen with population growth and or natural resources.